With E, B, and D being the only basis of what's going on here, you have the ability with a band like this to try to imply any kind of tension that you want. And basically, if it's used as a resolution tone, meaning like the period at the end of your musical sentence, you're basically implying that it could have been part of that chord that was underlying the whole thing. So if I take those notes that I said earlier, E, B, and D, you can hear how when I play them all together, I'm basically making a chord that could be jammed along. Okay, that's just using the notes that were already there. I'm going to take you through all 12 tones really quickly and see how that tension would sound to any one of you being heard over there. Each one of these is not meant to be for everybody. Everybody's style, the things that you listen to will make your ear gravitate towards certain tensions and maybe away from some others. Some of these might sound a little too esoteric or whatever for your taste, but I want you to check them out. So here's the E. Can't go wrong with E over E, right? Okay. Now I'm going to move up to the flat second. This might be a funny one for some of you. It's a great way to practice these so you get your ear kind of trained to hearing them. So that was the flat second. Here's the second. Flat third. Major third. Fourth. Sharp four or flat five. That's a fun one. Five. Flat six. Major six. Flat seven. Major seven. Another fun one. One. Back to you again. So I'm going to take some of those tensions. How about that flat second? That one sounded quite strange to everybody, I'd imagine. I'm going to put that in the chord, trying to show you how it would be if I implied it in a solo. So take a listen to what that sounds like. How about the metal fans? Must like that one a little bit. Okay, notice how when I played it by itself with the lyrics, everyone's probably thinking, what is he even thinking about using that note for? But depending on how you use it, you can turn that into something fun. It might be what you need to break out of your rut. One more thing I'm going to say before I kind of demonstrate how to put all this together is talking about musical phrases. You're going to think more in terms of the improvisation. The licks that you do are like a conversation piece. They're sentences, okay, phrases, but with periods at the end, spaces, okay. If I think of two musical phrases, I'll play just an example. Think of them as a conversation piece, and this will be the other way that you can use those tensions. If they're a little too scary to use as a resolution, we can use them as just a passing tone or within connecting phrases, okay? So first I'll show you like a basic phrase. We'll take just like a minor pentatonic thing. Okay, pretend that's a sentence. That sentence says, I love shopping in Bangor Music Center, okay? That's what that phrase says. Okay, enough said. My next phrase might have something to do with that, so we're putting a sentence into a paragraph kind of thing. My next phrase. Okay, that next phrase says they have the greatest deals around, okay? So I love shopping at the Bangor Music Center, they have the greatest deals around. Plug. Now, what's going to happen is those two phrases could totally stand on their own the way they are, right? Everybody says we had one phrase here, They both said what they needed to say. There's space in the middle, okay? And this is where I want you to think of these as being connecting phrases, or this is where the outside playing can really come in and you can try to delve into some of these tensions. Pretend I said those two phrases, and when I say, I love Bangor Music Center, then I say, man, you got to check this out. They've got the best deals in town. Okay, so man, I gotta check this out, all of a sudden was thrown in there when it didn't need to be, right? It doesn't change what we just said with those phrases, but it's a way of connecting and maybe building a little more excitement when we go into that next phrase. So I'm gonna do a couple of examples. Some of them I'll get a little far out there just so you see how far you can take it, and I'm gonna use connecting phrases in between. Get the idea there? Notice how those in-between phrases really could have been anything, and I threw in some wild tensions and things, some chromatic scale, half whole diminished. If you want to get into the theory of it, you can. But just think, basically, all I did was made myself free to use any of those 12 tones that I showed you before. And I can use them at any point in time. Some of them are going to be really hard to land on. That's where you want to think about that tension maybe being more of a passing tone. If you use it between solid phrases, stick with your stock licks that you've got, that you're comfortable with, that you're jamming with, and try to throw in these things to build some excitement in between your phrases. Try out everything. Don't be scared to play a wrong note, because there's a whole world of theory out there that means you can find a way to make that wrong note work. So.